Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. All right, today we're going to do something I haven't done in a while. You recall when I moved here, I did a lot of restaurant vlogs, and for the most part, when I do anything food related these days, it's more, something, a bites and nibbles segment or something like that. But there's a restaurant that popped up recently that I've been wanting to look into and check out. It's actually a restaurant that ended up in a shopping center right behind the apartment that I used to live in. You recall that when I lived in that dump of an apartment, well, it turns out there was like a shopping center where there was a Hobby Lobby and a drug zone and a couple other places. And I remember when I moved in, there was this abandoned restaurant that was there, and it had been closed for a long period of time, and it remained closed for about 3 years while I was here. And about a year ago, a chicken place called Slim Chickens opened up there, and I've been meaning to go check it out, and today we're going to do that. Now, I wanted to go look, as you know, I like to go kind of look into the history of these restaurants. A lot of them are just one-off restaurants in Waco, but I also do a few small chains, and this falls into the latter category. Slim Chickens started out with a couple of friends who lived in Lafayette, Arkansas. And they basically decided that they wanted to start a restaurant, and they called it Slim Chickens. And the first one was in Lafayette. And in the last 20 or so years, they've got about 200 branches throughout most of the Midwest and East Coast of the United States. And like I said, this one came up in Waco. There's, a dozen or so in the state of Texas. There's a dozen of them in Oklahoma. There's a dozen or so of them in Arkansas. And then they're kind of just smattered around the rest of the country. So like I said, I want to check it out. It sounds like kind of a Chick-fil-A kind of thing, but I want to go check it out, see what the food is, and we're going to go see what they got. So come on. I'm actually going to order and take out, so I'll bring it back here and I'll show you what I got. Yeah, okay, so here we are. This is Slim Chickens. Like I said, this was a restaurant that was out of business when I first moved here, and of course I was aware of it because I used to live right over behind that Hobby Lobby over there and visited this place quite a bit. So like I said, I've been thinking about hitting this place for some time, and I'm a huge fan of Chick-fil-A, so let's see if this is any good. Let's go in. I've looked at the menu. The menu looks pretty good, so hopefully this will be pretty good. There's not a whole lot of people here in the parking lot, but this is a Sunday also, and I think a lot of times people don't necessarily hit places like this. So we'll give it a taste test. Hopefully we'll get in and out of there real quick and see how good it is. Yeah, I guess they make a little custom sign for every city that they come into. So this is the Waco sign. Kind of a simple little place, but kind of decorated up, kind of nice. They kind of had kind of a southern feel to it. Guitars on the wall and stuff like that. So I don't know. What I ordered is a chicken sandwich meal deal, kind of a thing, and a milkshake, and we got mac and cheese coming with it, and then we got this little jar of dessert here, which is a brownie dessert. It's got pudding and all sorts of good stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna wait for my order to get served up, and we'll take it home. I'll give you the review. All right, so I'm back, and this is what I got for dinner. I was looking at the different sandwiches, and one of the things that they had on, they had a bunch of like spicy chicken things, and I love spicy things, as you know, but I wanted to see what their kind of signature sandwich was, and it looked like their signature sandwich was a chicken club sandwich. So I got a chicken club sandwich meal that came with one side. It normally comes with like fries, but they have like options. You can get fried pickles and mac and cheese and french fries, of course, and I think they had fried mushrooms and fried okra and that kind of stuff. I would decide to go with a mac and cheese. I also got a strawberry shake, which looked pretty good, and this brownie jar. And they've got several different frozen dessert things in jars. They got like Reese's jars and Oreo jars, but I decided to go with the brownie one. And the girl in the checkout stand was actually really friendly, and she says, yeah, that's my favorite thing too. So we're gonna try all this now. One of the things I did notice is that the food was a little bit on the pricey side. This was about $21. Now, I don't know if that's because this place is just a little on the pricey side, or that's just where we are in America today with inflation, and maybe all fast food places are that way. You gotta remember, I haven't been into a fast food place in probably 3 years. Probably since I moved into the house. I was more likely to go out and get food when I was living in the apartment because, let's face it, that place was a little depressing. But now that I got a place that I like, I tend to make my own food. But so it's very possible that maybe $21 is just kind of what you're looking at now for a basic meal. But that's where we are on that. I'm going to try all these things out and see how they are. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is let's try out the sandwich. It looks like it's a nice, big, thick sandwich, and that's one of the things I've always noticed. If you ever watched the movie Falling Down, there's a really funny scene in there where Defense is in a fast food place, and he's decided finally, after shooting up the place, that he's going to have lunch, and he orders a sandwich, and when he gets to it, it looks like somebody stepped on it. It's like that thick, and he was comparing it to the picture on the wall, and it was a big, thick, juicy looking, delicious looking sandwich, and he compared it to this thing, and was just noticing that there was a huge difference. This actually looks like the picture. So it's a nice big thick chicken sandwich. Looks like it's got cheese and tomatoes and bacon and mayo and lettuce, and then of course the chicken. So looks like there's some good stuff in here. Let's see how it is. Yeah, that isn't bad at all. A lot of good flavor in it. The chicken patty is a nice big thick chunk of patty of meat. So it isn't like some little thin piece of something. The tomato is actually a nice tomato slice. It's you go into McDonald's and a lot of times the lettuce is shredded. This is actually a slice of lettuce. The bacon's really good. The mayo is really good. So yeah, this is a good sandwich. Yeah, really tasty. So that's definitely a hit. Let's try this mac and cheese. Now the first thing I noticed is the mac and cheese doesn't have the traditional yellow color. It's like more of a white cheese flavor. So that isn't necessarily bad. Some mac and cheeses do that. Yeah, the mac and cheese is pretty good too. One of the things I would maybe recommend is eating in the restaurant versus taking home. It cooled off a little bit, so it isn't quite as warm as it would be, but that's my fault. That's not their fault. And this is also a small side. You can get large sides of all that stuff. And I elected just to go with this because I wanted to kind of get a good sampling of everything. And normally I get a soda, but I got a strawberry shake in this case. Let's give that the taste test. It's a good thing they gave me these big thick straws because it's a really thick shake, but it's got good strawberry flavor. I can taste real chunks of strawberry in there, so that's good. This is good. Once again, I might have gotten a large one rather than a small, but like I said, we wanted to try everything. I'm going to try that a little later because that's dessert, but I'm going to finish up the meal, and then when I'm done with that, I'll come back to you and we'll give this thing a taste test. This looks really good, so I'm actually looking forward to that. All right, the meal is done. I'm feeling pretty well filled up. Now we're going to have our dessert. I pulled the lid off of this thing, and this thing smells fantastic, so I'm looking forward to this. Got to dig a little deeper because I only got whipping cream that time. We got some brownie there that time, so. Yeah, that's really good. What it appears to be is it's brownie. Looks like there's a chocolate pudding under there. Honestly, the little stuff on the top that almost looks like peanut brittle. Yeah, I think that's what that is. That's like peanut brittle on the top. So that's really good. And then there's like candy. I guess maybe that's more peanut brittle at the bottom too. Oh yeah, I got some of the brownie that time. That's really good. Big chunks of chocolate in the pudding itself. So yeah, very tasty. That's actually a treat. Definitely recommend that. The whole meal was pretty good. The mac and cheese was tasty. The sandwich was good and filling. I'd probably go with more of a spicy one. You know me, I love spicy things. And so I'd go with a spicy one in the future just to see what that's like. But they got all sorts of cool options there. They got wraps that you can get, and you get like chicken tenders and stuff like that. All sorts of great sides. They do catering, they do whole family meals and stuff like that. But this was really good. I would definitely recommend this. Check it out again if you get a chance. I think you can see where all the locations are if you go to their website. I think it's slimchickens.com. Definitely worth a look. This was a good meal. I'll definitely go back, and I recommend you try it if you'd like. And other than that, I think that's all that I have for today. So thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.